permission before texting. You can text and donate online up until 7:15 on Friday evening.
If you text after this time or spell the presenter's name incorrectly, your text won't be counted towards deciding who does the challenge, but you'll still be making a donation to children in need. More details on bbc.co.uk/The One Show.
So that's what you need to do to take part. Here's just one of the very good reasons why you should. The story of Max Brimble and the awful accident he had when he was just 5 years old.
Max Brimble was kicked in the head by a horse while walking across a field with his sister.
It was just unreal, to be honest. You just don't think it's happening. It's like a nightmare. Just seeing him on the bed with his head wrapped up in bandages, devastating, and just didn't stop crying.
He was in a coma. Doctors operated, but complications set in. They decided to take him off life support and let nature take its course.
All his brothers and sisters came to say goodbye, and then a day later his eyebrow twitched. Wow. So it was like, wow. I suppose then I just thought, he's going to be over the worst and he's going to get better.
Max was in hospital for 10 months. Eventually, his injuries healed and he went back to school. But for Carol and her family, the problems didn't end there, as he struggled to keep up. Max had permanent brain injury and was moved to a special school. It was a tough time for Carol.
I didn't cope very well at all, actually, at the beginning. I was diagnosed with depression, reactive depression, but it was a horrendous time. But just as Carol was at her lowest point, she was put in touch with the Child Brain Injury Trust, a charity funded by children in need, and they proved to be a lifeline. They understood, they could tell me what might happen, what might not happen. They helped me, instead of looking back and thinking what Max should be doing and could have done and used to do, to look at all the positive things that he can do now.
Bonjour la classe.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Ça va?
Ça va.
Ça va bien?
And today, Max is a confident 13-year-old. He still attends a special school, and he and his family are getting the support they need.
What do you like at school?
Going home.
Going home. I think I was the same when I was at school. That was my best bit as well.
The Child Brain Injury Trust offers information, support and training to anyone that's been affected by what's called a childhood acquired brain injury. Well, a parent like Carol would have made use certainly of our helpline, and it's emotional support which is vital. The funding that we've received from Children in Need has really been totally invaluable to help even more families like Carol's.
Go in the other room and play nice. No, I can't because Adam's there.
The effects of brain injury can get more acute as children like Max become teenagers.
Oh, I can't find my bag. Right, where is your bag normally?
Memory loss and behavioural problems become more pronounced and create new challenges.
Through CBIT and through their conferences, I've actually met a psychologist that's now helping me and Max deal with his problems that he's having now as a teenager.
What has happened to Carol, Max and their family has been devastating. Their lives have changed overnight, but thanks to your donations to Children in Need, they are getting the support they need through very challenging times and making the most of life.
It was a real horrendous, dark place to be, I suppose, until CBIT came along. And it was like a light at the end of the tunnel. In fact, I know I couldn't have done it without them.
I'm Max Brimble, logging out.
For all the details of how you can pledge money or indeed just get involved, you can go to our website, bbc.co.uk/The One Show.
Hey, you've got a book out called Dreams, telling the story of your rise to fame, mainly through pictures, and brilliant pictures they are. We've just only got time for 3, but tell us about these. Is that Hackney there? I can't see. Let's look close. I don't recognise the street from Hackney. Where is that?
That's in Santa Monica, near Venice Beach. I used to go rollerblading, so... yeah.
Okay. But I mean, you were a secretary, but 2 years before. Did that just not feel weird? Have you caught up with yourself yet?
I'm still kind of adjusting to it, but yeah, I still kind of remember that and what I used to do. But I've always done music, so it's very natural to me.
Yeah, you're always striving to get to the stage that you're at, isn't it?
But what for me the book missed was a picture of you looking miserable and fed up at the desk as a secretary. Did you have a smile on your face then, or did you look a bit...
Yeah, no, I enjoyed everything I did.
Yes, Leona. Most of us do. Adrian doesn't, and expects the rest of us to be the same.
Now then, this is just a lovely picture of your mum and dad. They are just, I can see why you're so smiley. They're a smiley pair too. Just tell us about your dad. What's he do for a living?
My dad's a youth offending officer. My mum's now a social worker.
Right.
So, yeah.
And are they musical, those two?
Well, my dad loves music. He used to DJ all the time, and my mum was a ballet teacher, so they were very into the arts and very supportive of me doing music.
Yeah. They must sit at home now and think, that is our daughter.
Yeah, I think they're very proud.
Skating in Santa Monica.
Yeah, that's how they're smiling.
Okay. I just want a quick look at this one. I would have thought you'd found someone else to go on holiday with, but if you can't find a fella, there's always a donkey you can go in.
Yeah.
Where was that taken?
That, again, is in LA, and I love animals, so I wanted to do some photos with a donkey.
Yes.
Why not?
And why not? There's nothing wrong with it.
Exactly. And go back to, you'll not understand this. Well, your new single, Happy, it's called.
So what if it hurts me? So what if I break down? So what if this world just throws me off the edge? My feet run out of ground. I gotta find
Brilliant stuff there.
Yeah, well, if you think cleanliness is next to godliness, you're going to be confronting pure evil this week in our series of films about coping with the germs all around us.
Here's Lucy Siegel's look at all the nasties you can pick up on something as blameless as a trip to the shops.
Our towns and cities are packed with people, and you know what? They're not all as hygienic as you and me. Microorganisms surround us all of the time, and there is nothing we can do about it. But just how contaminated is the high street, and how concerned should you be? With the help of microbiologist Dr. Anthony Hilton, we're going to run some tests and see what bugs and germs we might find. You'll be pleased to know I've washed my hands thoroughly.
Good. Well, that's the last time you're going to do that today, because I've got a little experiment for us. We're going to sample your hands in a minute, and then we're going to go off around the city, and we're going to see how bad your hands get by the end of the day.
So I'm not allowed to wash my hands
No,
again
you're
today?
not allowed to wash your hands.
I don't like the sound of that, but it's time to get to work. We hit the high street to start swabbing and testing. All the samples will be analysed back at Anthony's lab at Aston University. There are germs over absolutely everything.
Yes.
Do they live for a long period of time?
Well, in some cases, maybe 2 to 3 days outside the body, in others, considerably longer.
See, that's quite scary.
Yeah.
Is there not more that councils could do to keep the streets cleaner?
Well, they do a lot, really, and the cleaning they do keeps the numbers down. But in a city of this size, really, the numbers soon come back up again. So really, I think it's better that people are just aware of where the problems are and maybe just employ proper hand hygiene to keep themselves safe.
We're testing all the surfaces you might come into contact with during a typical day in the city. Now, if you're wondering what Anthony is doing now, we were walking past, he saw some pigeon excrement, and of course he had to test it. Now, Anthony, I'm starting to feel very conscious of my hands and bacteria and the fact that I haven't been allowed to wash my hands all day.
Yes, well, it's easy to get conscious about it, but don't be frightened of bacteria.
But do you think as a society, are we over or under vigilant about germs and bacteria?
I think it's important really that we're just aware that some of them can make us ill, but you have to remember that we can live in harmony with bacteria as well.
I still want to wash my hands, actually. Well, that's enough testing and swabbing for one day, but there is one final procedure. Now, I'm not nervous about doing this, but I'm terrified of the results.
So this is the sample I need to take back to the lab to see just which bacteria are on your hands.
Well, I await those results with bated breath. Back at the lab, Anthony and his team analysed the agar plates to see what's developed from our original swabs. And the verdict?
We didn't find anything on these plates that would concern me other than regular bacteria like Staphylococci that live on your hands, and when you're pressing the buttons, you're leaving a few of those behind.
That's actually reassuring. The buttons, railings and cash machines we sampled are pretty clean. But that one looks horrendous. What's in that?
That is salmonella. We got that from the pigeons that we sampled near the monument.
Is that dangerous for my health?
Salmonella is perfectly capable of infecting healthy humans. You can imagine people sit on monuments, they eat the sandwiches, pigeon faeces may be around. There's a potential risk there, isn't there?
See, I find that really shocking, and also it just looks really dramatic.
You smell it.